everyone, and welcome to my belated birthday book haul. It was my birthday back on the 23rd of March, and so I bought myself a load of books, and I was also bought a few books as well. So I'm going to be hauling them today. I should have done this a while ago, but I've just been ill and everything. I'm still a little bit ill, but anyway, I am now well enough to haul these books, so let's get hauling, and I'm going to start with the stuff that I was gifted. First thing I'm going to mention is The Closet by James Tynion, and this was gifted to me by Abby of Pelennor, so thank you very much, Abby, for gifting me this book. And I have actually already read this one, and I can already tell you it was a 4-star read. I absolutely love this one, because this one is following a young boy who is convinced that there is a monster in his closet, and when his parents decide that they're going to move across country, they're trying to tell him that this monster is going to stay in the closet back where they used to live. He's not going to follow him, and then the door and the monster does follow him. And this was so good. The metaphor throughout here is absolutely brilliant, and the meaning behind this is absolutely fantastic. It packs a serious punch. It was really scary. It was really creepy. I would show you some of the art style, but I'm not going to in case it triggers anybody, because it is quite dark and quite spooky, and there is a lot of like violent things in here and things like this, so I'm not going to show it to you. But I absolutely love this, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. James Tynion once again can do no wrong in my eyes when it comes to writing horror graphic novels. He is the absolute king of it. It was absolutely brilliant, and once again thank you very much, Abby, for gifting me this comic. I loved it. Then Olivia Savannah of Olivia's Catastrophe gifted me The Sister Who Ate Her Brothers and Other Gruesome Tales, so thank you very much, Olivia Savannah, for gifting me this one. And this is a series of spooky short stories, and it says on the back here, "Welcome to the forest, this is where the stories live. They've been breathing in the dark for hundreds of years. Let me show them to you. Here is the man who likes to eat children. Here is the castle that screams in the night. Here are the souls trapped under the sea. This book contains 14 gruesome tales from around the world. Shall we take a closer look? Take my hand, follow me. We don't want you to lose your way." And this one sounds so good. As you can see, I'm very much in my spooky horror era at the moment, and this sounded so good. I have not read this yet. I'm saving it for Gothtober, which is a readathon in October that Olivia Savannah actually co-hosts, so definitely check that out in October, and I cannot wait to read this one. It sounds so good, right up my alley. I cannot wait to read it. Then my mum gave me Mia and the Lightcasters, and this one is by Janelle McCurdy, and this one it says, "Beware of the shadows, the Reaper King is coming." Mia's home was plunged into a forever night years ago by the shadowy Reaper King, a figure that now only appears in nightmares. Outside the city walls, the Umbra roam, a powerful beast with golden eyes. Only a special few can tame an Umbra and help to keep the city safe. Safe, that is, until a surprise attack changes Mia's life forever. With her parents and the rest of the Umbra tamers captured, Mia and her little brother Lucas are the city's only hope for survival. And this sounds so good. I am so excited to read this one, and it just sounds like so much fun. I love the idea of Reaper Kings, this kind of thing, so very excited to read it. And also, can we just appreciate the cover on this one as well? It is absolutely stunning. Then my best friend gifted me the box set of The Infernal Devices, because I have the original Mortal Instruments in this cover set, and my Infernal Devices is in a very weird mixture of big paperbacks, little paperbacks, and then a hardback, and it just was annoying me so much to have them so mismatched on my shelf. It meant that I couldn't fit anything else on that shelf. It was just really annoying, and now I have the matching set, so hopefully it's going to look all nicely uniform, or at least more uniform than it does at the moment, and I'll hopefully be able to fit a few more books on that Shadowhunter shelf. So thank you very much, Charlie, for gifting me the box set of The Infernal Devices. And then everything else is stuff that I actually bought myself. The first one was Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the sequel to Ninth House, which is a dark academia all about the secret societies in Yale. I read Ninth House just before my birthday and absolutely loved it and was desperate for the sequel, so while I was in Waterstones on my actual birthday, I picked this one up. I am so excited to read this one, and it's also the sprayed edge edition, which is awesome. My first one in Ninth House is not sprayed edges, but when you get the chance to get a sprayed edge, bugger it, you're gonna get it, so got the sprayed edge, and I'm very excited to read this one. I then also got The Bad Ones by Melissa Albert because I really enjoy Melissa Albert's work. I have read the entirety of the Hazelwood trilogy. I admittedly haven't read her next one after that, but when I saw this one I was like, I'm picking it up because I really enjoy Melissa Albert's work. This one, it says, Goddess, goddess, count to 5, in the morning who's alive? And I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I don't know anything else about this one. I just went, I trust Melissa Albert, and now I'm very excited to read it. I also got So Let Them Burn. This one is by Camila Cole, and this one was actually one of my most anticipated releases of January, which I'll leave a link to that video up above. And this one is all about a young girl who can channel the power of the gods, and 5 years ago she used her divine magic to liberate her island from its enemies, the dragon-riding Langley Empire, but now she's all powered up with no wars to fight. She's a legend to her people and a nuisance to her neighbours, and when she's forced to attend an international peace summit, she expects to perform tricks and then go home, but she doesn't expect her older sister forming a bond with an enemy dragon, or the gods claiming the only way to break that bond is to kill her sister. And it just sounds so good. There are dragons. We're talking about the Chosen One after all of the battles have happened, which is a trope that I really want to see more of. I'd love to see stories exploring what happens to the Chosen One after the final battle and all the rest of it. I've heard amazing things about this one in general. The cover is absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to read this one. I'm saying that a lot, but genuinely I cannot wait to read this. And that was the stuff I bought myself physically. There is some Kindle stuff I'm going to mention in a minute, but first I wanted to finish out the physical stuff I wanted to haul, and this is the stuff that was on pre-order that arrived between my last book haul and now. So the first thing I want to mention is Keedy by Elle McNichol. This is the prequel to A Kind of Spark, following Addie's older sister Keedy as she's dealing with the bullying problem in her school. I have already read this one. I read it in a day and I gave it 5 stars because it was so incredible. I'm not a book crier, like at all. I'm not a book crier, but that last line had me tearing up. It was so good. It absolutely hit me like a ton of bricks. It absolutely hit me like a ton of bricks. If you love A Kind of Spark, read Keedy. That's all I've got. Read Keedy because this was so good. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. 5 stars. If you couldn't tell, this is a new favourite. I loved it. I also got A Mindful of Murder, which is the latest Skullduggery Pleasant book by Derek Landy, and I'll leave a link up above to my full reading vlog where I go into full spoilery detail as I am reading this book, but I absolutely love this one as well. It was also a 5-star read. This was pure Skullduggery and Valkyrie. There was so many slasher references in here as well. I absolutely loved the mystery of it. It was absolutely brilliant, and I gave it 5 stars as well because I loved it so much. Then there are 2 comics that I can't remember if I've hauled before, but I'm going to haul them again anyway just in case, and that is the latest 2 in the I Hate Fairyland series, which is Untold Tales of Fairyland and I Hate Fairyland Volume 6, Last Gert Standing. Both of these are by Scotty Young. This one also has a couple of other authors joining in, and they are the latest ones in the I Hate Fairyland series, obviously, which is all about Gert, who was a 6-year-old girl who got stuck in Fairyland and has spent 30 years there and is essentially Deadpooled her way out. This one is a series of short stories about her time in Fairyland. This was really fun. I really enjoyed the vampire story and loads of others of them. They were all fantastic. And then Last Gert Standing is all about Gert being back in Fairyland as an adult, and it turns into a battle royale of various different Gerts trying to kill each other. It was fantastic. It was bonkers. It was gory. If you love Deadpool, check these out. These were both brilliant, and I gave both of them 4 stars. And then the final physical thing to mention is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. This is actually one of my most anticipated releases for April. Again, I'll leave a link to that video up above if you want to check it out. And this one is all about a young servant girl who's got magic, who gets drafted into the war in France, if I remember rightly. I just know that it's Leigh Bardugo, and I'm very, very excited about it because I love Leigh Bardugo's work, and this just sounds really interesting, really intriguing. Does this one have anything underneath? No, I did not get the Waterstone Special Edition. I didn't know there was one until I had this in my hands at home, and it turns out there was actually a special edition, and I was like, damn it, that was really pretty. But still, this is really pretty. It's still the same story inside, so very, very excited to read it. And then everything else is Kindle stuff. So the first one is What If Loki Was Worthy by Madeline Rue, and this one is the first one in a brand new Marvel trilogy, which is a series of books asking what if type questions. So this first one is obviously What If Loki Was Worthy, and this one is following the idea of what if Thor died in the first movie and Loki was banished to Earth as punishment for his part in Thor dying and everything else, and he ends up teaming up with Valkyrie to fulfill Thor's dying wish, which was to give Mjolnir to Jane Foster. Meanwhile, Tony is also going after Loki and all of the gods using stolen Asgardian tech because he is waging war against them after everything that happened in New Mexico. And this sounds so good. I love What If stories so much. What If is one of my favourite things Marvel has ever done. I absolutely love that series. I love asking these questions and exploring the different ideas of what could have happened to certain characters if one thing changed, everything else. This sounds so good and I'm so excited to read this one. I've also now got volumes 11 and 12 of Trials of X, which is the final two in the Trials of X series. This one is the second to latest X-Men run where the X-Men are all on Krakoa, that are mutant nation state, and we are following them as they are in their various teams and things, fighting various X-Men battles and all of this kind of thing. I've been really enjoying this series. I've been desperate to try and catch up with it, but I've been kind of holding myself back a little bit because I didn't have volumes 11 and 12, but now I finally do, so I can now blast through this series and I cannot wait to do it. I also finally bought Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and this one is described as lesbian necromancers exploring a haunted gothic palace in space. I mean, what part of that doesn't sound amazing? I'm so excited about this because everyone has been raving about this series for years and I've never bought it for no apparent reason. So now I'm just ridiculously excited to finally own it and finally read it. I cannot wait, I'm so excited. I also got the 6th book in the Toby Day series by Shauna Maguire, and this one is following a half-fae detective in San Francisco, and it's following her doing various different investigations into what the Fae are doing, this kind of thing, murders, all the rest of it. I've really enjoyed the first 3 books, and now I'm just picking up the next book in the series, or the next one that I need in the series, whenever it goes on sale, because this series is like 16 books long so far, and I'm like, I'm not paying for that full price because that's going to cost me a fortune, so whenever it goes on sale I pick up the next one. So I now have the 6th one. I then also got An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir, and this one is about a girl spying for the rebels against the Empire in exchange for help rescuing her brother, and a boy who is struggling to free himself from being an enforcer for a tyrannical regime. I don't really know much else about this one. I've just had everyone absolutely raving about it, so when it went on sale I decided to pick it up so I can give it a go myself. I also picked up Sarah Ella Reefy's Faebound because I've really enjoyed her previous work, so I'm really excited to see where this one goes. I'm currently actually listening to this on audiobook. I'm really enjoying myself. This one specifically, I should mention, is all about a warrior in the Elven army, and she is banished with her sister to the desert and then find that the Fae, who haven't been seen in millennia, are still actually alive, and now she is torn between her loyalty to her sister and also her homeland. I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm loving the world of it and everything, so really excited to continue on with it. Then I also got the next 2 books in Gabby Hutchinson Crouch's Darkwood. I've absolutely loved the first one. It was very much like a Terry Pratchett type storyline based around fairy tales in a world where fairy tales are all sort of intertwined with each other within the dark wood. I absolutely loved the first one, so I immediately got the next 2 as well. I cannot wait to read these ones because I had such a good time with the first one. Then the final 2 books were both of my January most anticipated releases video before I quickly go into the last 2 comics. The first one is Into the Sunken City by Dinesh Tharu. This is an underwater heist book inspired by Treasure Planet, where our main character is struggling to make ends meet for her and her sister after her father died in a diving accident, but now there is a heist going on underwater, I think in Las Vegas, if I remember rightly, where the payout is going to be massive, and now she's forced to go on this heist, even though she's really scared of going into the water again after what happened to her father and things like this. It sounds really interesting, really good. I really love a heist story, so really excited to read this one. And then the other one I got was Principle of Moments by Esme Chikemi Pearson, and this one I'm just going to read the very quick synopsis on here because it's a little bit difficult for me to describe. It says, it is a century-spanning space fantasy novel that would take you on a whirlwind adventure to a Regency-era love affair between a time traveller and the prince waiting for him in the past, to a rescue mission in the 60th century where a girl desperately races against time to search for the sister the Emperor stole. It sounds so good. I've seen it everywhere recently. It's been described as being perfect for fans of a dark shade of magic, which I very much am. It sounds amazing. I cannot wait to read this. And then the final two things to mention are both graphic novels. The first one is Steampunk by Milton Davis and several others. This is an anthology graphic novel collection all about sci-fi, fantasy and steampunk stories written by African American authors. I've wanted this book for so long now, and I was like, right, I'm buying it now because I really want it. I've wanted it for so long. I'm finally going to get it, and I'm really excited to read this one. Obviously, I'm a massive sci-fi fantasy fan. I also really like steampunk, and I am always looking for new authors to check out, especially within graphic novels, things like this. So I'm really excited to see what this one's all about, see what these stories are going to be like, and then also hopefully discover a few more authors to look out for in the future. And then finally I have Grimm by Stephanie Phillips, and this one is all about Jessica, who has died and is recruited as a Grim Reaper, and she's trying to unravel what happened to her when she was alive because all of her memories are gone, and then also trying to discover what happened to the actual Grim Reaper because he's gone missing. And it just sounds amazing. I love the idea of Grim Reapers, all of this kind of thing, and it just sounds perfect for my spooky loving heart whenever I want to read something a little bit spooky. So very excited to read this. And that is my entire belated birthday book haul. So thank you very much to anybody who gifted me anything, and everybody else, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me which book I should start with. I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a skull emoji down below to let me know that you're here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all my social media fun to check it out, including to the Comic Book Sanctum, which is my website dedicated to Marvel Comics, which has actually got a guide to Derek Landy Marvel Comics, along with Scotty Young Marvel Comics as well, along with a whole load of other things, as well as Trial of X actually as well. That's got a whole guide on there as well if you want to check that out. I'll also leave a link as well down below to my Etsy store that sells bookish merch if you want to treat yourself to something today, or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!